Hey cruisers, well, this is going to be a bit of a different type of video. In fact, I don't ever think that we have made a video like this before. So if you're new here and you don't really care too much about personal information about us, this might not be the right video for you. For the rest of you who've been following us for the last 10 years, we hope that this will answer some questions that have been coming up, because the truth is, you guys, we've had some major life changes this year, and we are now at a point where we feel comfortable sharing some of that information. But we're also going to be sharing with you guys a really cool cruise announcement during this video. So we're very much looking forward to that. All right, let's get right into this today. The first major life update that I want to share with you guys has been something that's been in the works for quite some time, and that is that I very recently left my day job. This has been a wonderful, long career. I'm very blessed to have worked for the same company for well over 25 years. I worked for this company for 26 years, and I actually loved my job. But for the last several years, we have been asking ourselves the question, can we take CruiseTipsTV full-time? And it's been a goal of ours to move towards. So we're very excited to say that we finally made it happen. It hasn't been easy, and there's some other really big life decisions that had to be made to get us to this point, but we're very excited. Now, at the end of this video, what I'm going to be doing is answering some more questions that have come in about these topics. We're also going to be doing a podcast on this topic that's a lot more chatty, a lot more in-depth. If you want to hear a little bit more of the backstory and a little bit more about what's going on with us, please go ahead and tune into the podcast coming out on the exact same day. All right, back to it. So, goodness sakes, that was thing number one. We're now full-time content creators, yay! And OMG, it's actually quite terrifying. I'd be lying if I told you guys that I wasn't absolutely scared to death, because this is a really big change. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes, but I want to just talk for a moment about what this might mean for you, our viewers. This ultimately will mean more content from CruiseTipsTV as you know it. Hopefully over the next few months, as we're able to develop a better content schedule, it will also mean more consistency, more consistent live streams, a more consistent upload schedule. It may also mean more new ship stuff, because one thing that has happened as a result of having had a full-time job is that as a creator, anytime a new ship comes out and they have ship tours and media events, generally speaking, I have to decline them. In fact, since the restart, I have declined over 15 opportunities for ship visits, shipyard visits, media events, and a number of different things. And that's heartbreaking. So hopefully now I will be able to say yes more. And what that is going to mean for you as our viewers and our wonderful subscribers is that I'll be able to bring you some more content from new ships, right? That's pretty exciting if you ask me. I think it's really cool. So more content, more new ship stuff, more consistency. And we'll keep you posted on that, because the truth is we're still kind of getting into a flow here with managing our time, but we will have a little bit more freedom, and that's a good thing. All right, let's talk about major life update number 2. Word to the wise, be careful about taking on 2 major life updates in 1 year, guys. It's a lot, and we thankfully spaced out these occurrences so that we were able to manage it. But the second big announcement, if you haven't heard yet, this really isn't a secret, but I'm realizing that some of you may not know, is that we actually moved halfway across the country. So we left our home state of California and we moved to Texas, and we bought acreage. We bought a farm. And this has been a dream of ours for a very long time. What that means for us is that we actually were able to buy something here in Texas for much less expensive than we were able to in California, which means we were able to simplify our living expenses and our lifestyle to a point that we could go full time. So this point really ties back in to me being able to leave my corporate day job and to pursue our dream of giving CruiseTipsTV a go full time. Something we've been wanting to do for a long time. For those of you who don't know, we've been doing this for 10 years. We started CruiseTipsTV in 2013. And you guys have probably heard that saying. You've heard the saying, do what you love and the money will follow. Or jump and the net will appear. It's not that simple. It's not that simple when you're raising a family, when you're saving for retirement. So we really wanted to wait until we didn't have to guess if a net was going to appear. This had to be a very calculated, financially responsible decision. And that is why it took us 10 years to get to this point. But we're so thankful for all of you for watching and following along. Okay, now for the good stuff. Probably the stuff you tuned in for. And that is, when is our next cruise? And where are we going and why? And the exciting announcement is our next cruise is now. In fact, we are already, if all went well, we are on board Regal Princess for a Southern Caribbean cruise. Not only is it a wonderful, longer cruise, but it has so much significance for us. First of all, Regal Princess ship is 10 years old. So Regal Princess is sharing the same birthday as CruiseTipsTV. Second, it is my 50th birthday, guys, on October 31st, and this is the cruise that I really wanted to do. Now here's where this all ties in and gets kind of crazy cool. Are you ready for this? Regal Princess is actually on her way. Well, by the time this video goes live, she will be here. She's on her way over from Europe, and she's actually repositioning to Galveston, Texas, which is our new home cruise state. So we feel like we're bringing this beautiful ship home, celebrating my 50th birthday in style and kind of a longer cruise, and we're visiting a destination, Southern Caribbean, where we have never been before. This is so exciting. We're gonna talk all about the ports that we're visiting on the podcast. So go listen, search Cruise Tips TV Unplugged anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Now, do you have questions about Regal Princess? If you do, I'm going to be answering them in a Q&A video, hopefully from the ship, to answer those questions. So leave those questions about Regal Princess here in the comments of this video so that I can answer those for you. Now, we have another huge cruise surprise coming up in just a couple of weeks, but I'm going to answer that one in a future video, but just know that there's something else that's really, really big coming. Also know that we're going to do our very best to go live from Regal Princess, so make sure you have your YouTube notifications turned on. Okay, now if you stayed to the end and you're ready for the Q&A, we're going to answer some questions. We actually went to our wonderful Patreon community, we call them our backstage crew, and we said, hey, you guys kind of already know what's going on with our life because we have these monthly Zoom calls on Patreon, and our Patreon community kind of already knows what's happening. And I said to them, what do you guys want to know? What do you think other people would want to know about these big life updates? Throw some questions my way, and here's what they asked. First up, one of our patrons said, how will your cruise habits change, and will you take more long cruises? The truth is, I'm not really sure just yet. Now, we have a school-age child, right? So we're not gonna be traveling full-time by any means, and we also have a piece of property that we have to take care of now. So you probably won't see a massive difference in our cruise habits, but again, I'll be able to go to more of those media events, and we'll probably be able to get on some longer cruises over time. But right now, we also have to kind of acclimate, right? Okay, next question was, will we still pack carry-on only? Who asked that question? I thought that was kind of a funny one. Yes, we still love packing carry-on only, especially when we fly to our destination. That's really where it started, is not wanting to check bags or have to wait by the baggage carousel. So, hey, maybe when I do that first cruise where I drive to Galveston, right? Maybe we'll take a big suitcase that time. So why Texas? Why did we choose Texas was another question that came up. That is an excellent question. We considered a lot of states when we were looking at moving. We considered many: Idaho, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Utah. We looked all over the United States. There were a lot of factors, but it really came down to wanting to buy land and cruisability, you guys. We needed to be near an international airport, and we wanted to be within driving distance of a cruise port. Texas really offered all of those things for us, and it won out. And we're really loving it. We're really enjoying it. And many of you have welcomed us to this great state, and we're so thankful for all the friendly people in Texas who have welcomed us here. Okay, another question that came in. What happened to Sheri TV? I know, guys, I know. We never really did a proper answer of this question. Sheri TV is our second YouTube channel that was formerly Cruise Gear. The truth of the matter is it just became, unfortunately, something we didn't have time to make content for. And when we started making more content on Amazon and Amazon Live, we had to really look at our time. Is Sheri TV gone forever? I can't tell you that. I don't know. But for right now, we've had to push it off to the side. And I apologize for not giving it a formal goodbye, because I'm not really sure I'm ready to say goodbye to it. All right, another question came in about the work that we do on Amazon and Amazon Live. Will we be doing more home and garden stuff on Amazon? Well, hopefully eventually. Right now, we're still trying to get comfortable in our new home. We did a kitchen live stream on Amazon Live where we showed you our new kitchen and all the things in it, and that was really fun. And what I'm going to do is know that there's some interest in that. But go to Instagram if you want to see little updates here and there for home and garden. There's going to be a farm life highlight saved where I put little tidbits of things like that there if you want to see what our life is like. We had a California life highlight before, and now we have a farm life highlight. So if you're interested in following, check it out. All right. What will we do with the land on our farm? Right now, just mowing it is a full-time job. Mr. CruiseTipsTV can spend 6 hours and barely hit it all. But in all seriousness, you guys, we actually can produce hay for horses here, and we have, and we do. There are local people who can come and take the hay, and they do, and that's really cool. So, hey, we're feeding horses. Hey, we're feeding horses. How is the weather in Texas? It is actually glorious right now. I wore a jacket today. It's beautiful. The summer was very hot and muggy and rainy, but we fully knew what we were getting ourselves into. Now, I don't think we knew how many bugs were going to be out here in Texas and knew how many snakes and all the wildlife, but we're checking it out. Are we exploring Texas? Absolutely, especially in the area we lived, little day trips here and there, and it's been a lot of fun. Any land trips planned? Not right now, but I gotta tell you, I got a hankering for Cancun, and the flights out of Texas to Cancun are really inexpensive, and we might be doing something like that down the road, but for right now, we're totally focused on cruises. What does my average day look like right now? Guys, I haven't had enough time in this new lifestyle to be able to answer that question for you yet, but I can tell you that there's a whole heck of a lot less multitasking, right? And a lot less working after hours all the time, weekends. Now, we'll still continue to be working very, very hard. I'm certainly not retiring, probably work harder than ever, but I'm not being divided between my full-time job and then, you know, after work, weekends and all that, doing more and more and more. Last question came from our Patreon subscriber, Jedi. He said, how can we help you with all of this? What can we do? That is such a good question. And what you can do, you guys, is keep doing what you're doing. Watch our videos, comment on them. Most importantly, share them with your friends, share them in your cruise groups if they're applicable. If you want to help further, join us over on Patreon or as a Facebook subscriber. But more than anything, just keep watching our content. All right, I hope you all have enjoyed this. I know it was a bit of a personal update. I promise we're back to informational and educational programming moving forward, but I thought that this would be a nice opportunity to just catch everyone up on where we are. Any questions about Regal Princess, friends, leave them down in the comments below. And thank you again for watching. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye-bye.